guys, Sandra here, coming at you from the PG of A's, and today we will be continuing probably the ending of Seduce Me. I don't know, because the last two episodes I thought was the ending, but apparently no. So let's get into this, shall we? Diana snapped her fingers and the world melted into black. I stood and walked to be beside Diana, unsure of what was happening. Why wasn't the world spinning instead? Was the spinning a trick she did? I felt myself click my teeth in irritation of that thought. Soon the world grew back its color and we were standing in a field I somehow recognized. I looked down and regretted it. At our feet was grandfather's gravestone. It was untouched and as clean as when I last remembered seeing it. Why were we here?
Here we are.
Here? I stared at Diana as she muttered a small incantation under her breath. In her hand formed a small vase with purple lilac. She gently knelt down and placed them beside the grave.
I had to pay my respects to this man.
Why? Were you a friend of his? I needed to know. My mind began screaming. Something wasn't right. Why did he know him? How did he know he was dead? What was their relationship? What was going on?
No, I wasn't a friend of his. I didn't even know him.
Then why are you giving him flowers? My mind began to screech louder in my head. Why was it? Why? Why? Diana, why are you giving him flowers?
You don't need to know. I highly doubt you knew this man.
Yes, I do. Diana stared wide-eyed at me, a mixture of fear and surprise mixed in her eyes. My heart began to squeeze tightly in my chest. Why was she looking at me like that?
How do you know him?
Answer my question.
How?
I said answer my question! I couldn't hold in my voice. I needed to hear her answers, and I didn't want to hear anything else. Anything other than her answer would infuriate me. Diana looked down at the grave, letting out a small sigh. My heart tightened further. Answer me. I needed the answer.
This man helped the boys come to the human world. He opened a bridge and let them through, before sealing it with a part of his life force.
There was more. I knew there was more. I remained silent as she took a breath.
I had come to visit their castle one day, and when they told me that the boys were gone, I became frantic. Without the contract marriage, the demon lord would have had the freedom to march on my kingdom and conquer it. I couldn't let that happen. So I tried to find a way here. I searched the castle during my brief visit, trying to find out where the boys went. I found it. This man left behind a small trace of his spell, small enough to be undetected by the inhabitants of the castle.
Anna looked at me, a look of pain in her face that made my already pained heart feel like it was punctured by needles.
Demon magic is best with consent, but takes more energy when forced. So, in a blind need, I recast the spell and used that man's life force to open the bridge once more and seal it completely when I walked through. I didn't know I was taking the rest of his life. By the time the bridge closed, the man had already passed. He was visiting someone in a nearby hospital, so when I left to find the boys, the staff had found him and tried to revive him. I didn't want to take his life. I thought he was a younger man. I didn't know he was as old as he was. It's my fault this man is dead. But I needed to come to the human world, and he was my only chance to get close enough to track the boys down.
You... Diana tensed up and stared at me. Her face was painted with regret and sadness, something not like her usual self. You killed my grandfather.
Your grandfather?
I don't know. I don't know! Ah! Don't attack her because it might result in bad. Run away. I needed to leave. I needed to go. I quickly turned and ran, hearing Diana call out for me from behind. I ran. I didn't look back. I couldn't look back. She started all of this. She was the one who turned my world upside down. She was the reason for this chaos I was in. She took my grandfather away. I ran through the gates of the cemetery and through the streets to my house. This time the world was in slow motion and I was the one going in fast forward. I didn't care what was going on around me. I just needed to run. My heart began to freeze in my chest, pained by the feeling of needles and knives piercing through it. Tears were running down my face, but I knew where I was running. I ran through the front gates of my house and sprinted inside. I zipped up the stairs and ran into my room. As I slammed the door behind me, I began to weep violently. I leaned against the door and slid to the ground crying. My world was crumbling and I didn't like it. My world was broken apart and I didn't want it. All I could do, though, was cry. My heart denied me from thinking about anything else. I cried. I continued to cry. I let my heart empty of its pain with each tear that ran down my cheek as I spit at my screen. Wah! My screams echoed through my room, bouncing around and reverberating into my ears. I didn't care if it hurt to hear it. I didn't care about anything anymore. All I cared about was crying. I curled into a ball and cried. I don't even know when I passed down. I don't remember closing my eyes and letting the darkness take me. The darkness was comforting. I felt my sadness numb within it. There was no reality in that darkness to haunt me or hurt me. I wanted to stay within it forever. However, my body forced me to open my eyes. I saw the room focus around me and I realized that I was staring at the ceiling. I was in bed under my covers. I sat up and looked around, stopping to see Diana leaning against the balcony window looking away from me. Why was she here? Did she carry me to my bed? I felt my anger, wanting to speak out against Diana, but I noticed the puffiness around her visible eyes. She had been crying. Seeing her bloodshot, puffy eyes made me fully aware of my own eyes and how dried they had become after crying. I rubbed my eyes and let out a shaky sigh.
I'm sorry.
I stared at Diana. My heart didn't want to hear it, but I let her speak.
I didn't want to come here in the first place. I only thought of bringing the boys back to protect my kingdom, so everything else became secondary. I didn't mean to take his life.
But you did.
I did. I can't ask for forgiveness, but I still am sorry. If I could turn back time, I would find another way.
You know, it's because of you that I met the boys.
Huh?
I looked to my blanket-covered lap. I remember the funeral, the moving, the meeting with the boys. Everything came at me at once, and now I had the one puzzle piece that fit it all together. If my grandfather hadn't died, he'd still be living here, and he'd be the one taking care of the boys instead of me, but he died and gave me his estate, so I came and met them for the first time. I looked at Diana, seeing her sad face. I could tell she really regretted her choice, and she was upset. I couldn't sense any depiction in her. I guess I have to thank you for introducing me to them. It's a magic, since my grandfather couldn't do it himself anyways. Diana looked down, pressing her lips together and closing her eyes.
I need to take your memories now. A deal's a deal. I fulfilled my part and told you everything. I had nothing left to tell you, and you can't keep those memories.
I didn't speak. I watched as Diana argued into the air about taking my memories. I felt like she was now doubting the deal, not wanting to take away the truth from me. Did I want her to? This was my chance to return to ignorance. I never remember that she took my grandfather's life. I never remember everything she showed me and taught me. I'd return to Don't. The truth is always better than a lie. Diana stared at me, a look of almost despair in her face. I, however, kept my eyes to her. You took away my grandfather. What gives you the right to take my memories away?
But
I'm not done speaking. Diana shut her mouth, listened obediently. I needed to speak my mind. She had no right to take anything away. I knew the truth now, and that was all that mattered to me. Screw the rules. I deserved to remember everything. I was thrown into this mess because of you. No one has the right to take anything away from me. Diana took a step towards me, and I was ready to snap at her. However, she gently leaned over me and ran a hand over my head.
all right.
What?
I won't take your memories.
I stared up at her in shock. Was she serious? Anna smiled at me and stood back
You're
up.
right. You deserve to know everything. It's the least I can do.
I felt almost joy. She agreed with me. This was a huge deal. I still didn't forgive Diana, but it was better to know than to be left in ignorance. Eventually I would be able to move on. Until then, Diana was willing to stay and teach me the life my grandfather knew in retribution. It was something.
Head back to sleep and I'll teach you more in the morning. I'll stay a few more days until you know everything.
Something felt off, but I nodded. Feelings, exhaustion drove over me again. Was it natural? I didn't know. My head began to spin and I needed more rest. Diana gently laid me back down and moved hair from my face.
Rest.
As if from a spell, I closed my eyes and fell back into unconscious darkness. My heart was healing and it would take time to heal. Thankfully, I had time now to heal and to grow stronger. Diana obeyed my word and stayed with me. She owed me so much already and stayed with me for a good week. Within that time frame, she not only taught me everything she could, but she also assisted me in learning some of my own hidden magic. I could barely believe it. I had demon magic floating through my veins, and I could use it at any time. If I had learned about how to use my powers earlier, I would have been as strong as a demon. Anna explained that humans who learn the demon magic attract demon energy and have the potential to use some of it like demons, but their full power can only be unlocked in the demon world. Being that my grandfather spent almost his whole life learning about demon magic, his energy carried through my father led to me. When my dad left my grandfather, his energy dismissed, but when I came to the home, mine began to grow. According to Diana, I shouldn't have as much energy as I have. I guess I was lucky. Everything was fascinating. I felt waves of excitement and energy through my body. I was aware of the energy I held and the magic around me. I could sense Diana's energy. I could even sense Diana's energy, as powerful as it was. One night, however, as I slept, Diana began to waver.
What am I doing?
I heard Diana muttering, waking me from my sleep. I opened my eyes and peeked over my covers to see Diana looking out my window. She looked tired and restless.
I need to get the boys and return home. My kingdom is in danger. Maybe I should call an angel.
My heart froze. She could call an angel? It would baptize me and make me forget everything. I panicked, but I heard Diana
But
sigh.
she makes sense. Why should I marry to protect my kingdom? I should be able to... Well, would I? Me against the Demon Lord's entire army. I'm not that strong.
I slowly sat up, looking to Diana still. She seemed to only focus her attention out of the window and phased out my rousing.
She's strong, though. The magic in her veins would win me this war. But I can't take her magic. I care for her too much.
But she's just a
human.
Diana sighed and opened the window.
I need to leave. I have to fight him on my own. I'll use the rest of my energy to get back, and hopefully recover when I get there. I hope he hasn't already attacked, or is ready for me.
Diana stepped out of the window and stood on the balcony. Was she really going to leave? What about me? Was she going to leave? What about teaching me everything? My curiosity was peaking again, and I near her here. I don't know what drew me to her, but I quickly rushed out of the bed and ran to the balcony. Wait! Diana turned around and stared at me in surprise. However, she tightened her hands into fists and turned back around.
Go back to bed. I need to go.
But you...
I need to go. I'll be back someday. But I need to protect my kingdom. Without the boys, he'll attack at any time, and I need to prepare myself instead of waste my time here.
I couldn't believe it. She was really wanting to leave. I overheard her. She wasn't confident about winning. She probably couldn't if he was as powerful as she claimed. I never see her again.
Take care of those memories while I'm gone. You need to keep them secret at all costs. If angels find you, they'll...
Take me with you. I couldn't believe what came out of my mouth. Diana turned to me, also surprised at my words.
What?
I couldn't deny myself. I needed to fulfill this curiosity, and if Diana was going, I was going with her. If I was with her, maybe she could win her fight and then come back to the human world with me. My heart felt giddy for some reason at the thought. Take me with you. I overheard you. I have the power to help you win your war. I'll help you, and then you'll come back with me and teach me everything.
But I don't deserve your help.
I demand it as a deal, demon. Diana straightened up, staring at me in disbelief. I almost couldn't recognize my own voice. In retribution for my grandfather's life, you will take me with you and teach me everything. I will then win your war, and in return, you will return with me to the human world to continue teaching me until I have learned everything. Diana stared. I couldn't tell what was going in her mind. Was she angry, sad, surprised? As Diana closed her eyes and smiled, I felt a wave of relief wash over me.
A tongue of ice, even when faced with danger.
Diana then looked at me and held out her
Come
hand.
then. Help me open a portal, and I'll take you with me.
I nodded and placed my hand in Diana's. For some reason, it felt nice to touch her hand like this. She was going to take me on an adventure I could never forget. She then gently pulled me to her. Both of us began to float towards the night sky. Diana's embrace seemed safe, and I felt better being in it than out of it. Sorry, Grandfather. Diana looked down at me and ran a hand over my cheek.
You don't know how much this means to me.
I nuzzled into Diana's hands and closed my eyes. Diana gently lowered her hands to my waist, staring down at me as I opened my eyes.
You intrigue me.
I giggled. Don't you mean seduce me? Ah! Play on words there! Diana chuckled and grinned at me.
Yes, you seduce me.
I smiled before gently reaching up and kissing Diana softly. She stared, surprised, before closing her eyes and gently returning my kiss. There was no pull of energy, nor warm, fuzzy enthrallment. It was a simple kiss. It was the one kiss I felt was perfect to start my adventure with. The sky began to melt into darkness as Diana and I kissed each other. It wasn't heated or passionate, yet the kiss spoke many languages to me. Diana liked me and came to care just little for me. Was this the start of something? Maybe it was too early to tell. Maybe we'd find romance in the demon world, maybe not. I still had 100 battles to face, 1,000 memories to make, 1,000,000 stories to write. However, this was the change I needed in my life. And that was my happily ever after. End my adventure 1. And that, my good friends, was Seduce Me. That was a really interesting game. Some points I was like, what the hell? And other points I'm like, aw, this is really aw. But I will admit, that whole ending spiel with her, I did not expect. But I loved it ever so. So if I do end up having viewers that watch this series completely to the end, I will not, although like some YouTubers do, I will not be going back to different choices I could have made and choose those. I'll leave that to you. The game is free on Steam, so you can just check it out for yourself. And I really enjoyed this. So, thank you guys for watching. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want. I make new videos whenever I can. And I will see you guys in the next video I make. Later, skaters!